Well, despite my best efforts, it appears that it has indeed happened again. There is yet another car in the yard. This is an '83 Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. We got it running last night, relatively uneventful. Just had to drill out the ignition cylinder and deal with some battery cables. It was dark, it was raining, I wasn't going to film any of that. Brian came over and helped for a while. So between rain showers, we'll do a quick walk around video of the car. It is full-blown fall season up here in Alaska. Everything's changing color. We've entered the rainy season. All in all, kind of sucks. But this is a Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. It is an '83 model, so it has the earlier, kind of fugly front end on it. Not the '88 and '87, but it was free, so I'll take what I can get. This is why I was interested in the first place. This, and it's a 5-speed car. And I think this motor and trans combo would go pretty well in the Lancer, but that will be a next year deal. I think I will try to just use this as a toy for now and just run it around, see how it does. Not a Fox body Mustang, but it is a Fox body. It's kind of an uptown Fox body. A lot of people hate them. Some people like them. There's really no middle ground. This one has seen better days. Missing a wing window here, so you have some water damage on the interior. Something scraped the side of the car on both sides, so there's little divots and everything in the body. Once it's clean, you'll be able to see those. There's not a lot of rot, though, so that's nice. Glass back here is in good shape. I know that's an expensive piece to get. Trunk lid's decent. Taillights are decent. This window is down in the door, but I can't actually get the electric shit to work to get that back up. That's the only downfall of this, is it's all computerized, so it doesn't really fucking work. What really sucks is this would have been a really nice looking car from the factory. Black with the red interior and being a turbo coupe, it would have been a pretty neat ride. But with this window being down the past 5 years or so, it's kind of taken a toll on the interior. Not sure how much I'm going to be able to make that come back around. And in terms of the dash, we're missing quite a bit of plastics and the whole radio and everything over that way. Ignore the homeless sleeping bag situation. I got to get all the crap out of here, but back seat isn't as bad. There's some fuel injection Ranger parts sitting on there. We made the mistake last night of taking the key out of the ignition in hopes of popping the trunk, because at that point the battery wasn't making a good enough connection for the button to work. And then we couldn't get the column to unlock and actually turn on ignition again, because it was not the right key. It was just kind of jammed in there. So then we had to drill out the lock cylinder, and it now starts with, well, you can turn the ignition on with a screwdriver, and then you got to use another screwdriver underneath the hood to jump it. And yeah, it's kind of janky, but this wheel used to be tilt, and it's kind of just freewheeling there right now. You can still steer it, it's just, yeah, that's perfectly fine. So now what I'll try to do is fire it up a second. Not sure how I'm going to do that holding the camera with one hand, because it's kind of an operation, but we'll see if we can get it to go. It does not love to idle. I think the computer is still trying to relearn shit because it hasn't had a battery in it for so long. But it did run good enough to do that burnout that I edited in earlier. And once it got through the mud, it actually started smoking on the clay. So that was kind of neat. I just noticed there's no hood hinge on that side. So I'm sure this is secure enough. And now we will cycle the key. And then we'll come down here. Yeah, so it's not a huge fan of idling. I'm not sure if it's the old fuel or what, but we'll figure that out later. When it's running, though, it seems relatively healthy. Could use a little bit more oil in there, but I'm running low. Yep, so this whole thing's kind of out of my wheelhouse. A lot more wiring and computers and everything in here that I'm used to. I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't like to idle right now. We got it to idle last night, and it just randomly decided to cooperate. So I'm sure that's something that'll need to be tinkered with down the road. I gotta have a tire put on the wheel on the passenger front here, and then I can actually drive the car around a little bit. I'll take it down to the house, I'll wash it up, hopefully get it to idle a little bit more, and then maybe we'll do a little cruise around the neighborhood video with it. And it'll probably then just be parked next to the charger here for winter, and it'll be a next spring situation. Because winter is like 3 weeks away at this point, and I'm kind of running out of time. So anyway, that's about where we're sitting with this. Real quick video, but you know, a new vehicle, and it actually makes some noise, so I figured I would throw something together. You can see the burnout over here kind of slid this direction and splattered the Lancer with mud. Jesus Christ, it looks like that hood's going to fall off. I guess that's not my problem just yet. One more thing over here, though. I haven't updated on the Challenger in a while. But there is an update. Does it run worth a shit? No. It makes fire really good, though. Sadly, that engine is probably toast, and I will need to swap in the Jeep 318, which is under this tarp. That's another spare 318 that just ended up in the yard that I really have no use for, but it's here in the way now. I really hope to get this running and driving yet this fall. We'll need to see if that happens or not. The probability is not extremely high right now. I suppose we'll just let schedules decide kind of what happens here. But here's a nice overlook of the whole yard. It's a lot fuller than I was hoping it would be this late in the year. A lot of shit to plow around. But when you keep getting free cars given to you, you know, like this one, and the green truck, and the Thunderbird, and the flat Charger, you kind of got to take them. So one last thing, I decided to take a second and do a little test panel on the car here to see how the paint would actually come back around. I didn't know really what to expect because it is an 80s Ford, and it has sat in a swamp for quite a long time. So first I went through and just wiped it down, and you can see there's already a bit of a reflection there, but still a lot of debris in the paint. And then up on the pillar here, I did some rubbing compound, some polish, some wax, and some detailing spray with a clay bar, and that looks really fucking good. I'm quite surprised. Just look at that contrast between the rear pillar here and the roof, which I have not touched. Pretty big difference. Also, you are not really supposed to use that style rag while detailing a car like this. It's just what I had here, and it was clean. And clearly, you know, it doesn't really fucking matter, so in the future, look out for a full paint restoration video on this car, because despite there being a dent in every panel, I think it's worth it just for video's sake.